Hello, I'm KD Hale, Vice President of the Association of African American Cultural Gardens, and I have the honor of welcoming you, our audience, to our Sankofa Web Series. Our goal is to educate regarding the African American experience through this series. We will be interviewing some of the most interesting, engaging leaders, business leaders, and great entrepreneurs in this great city. These change agents will tell us about their journey, who they are, who inspired them, what they do, and what does African American history and African American cultural gardens mean to them. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page, the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. And go to our website, aaacg.org, for most updated information regarding events in our Sankofa series, which can also be viewed on demand. We will be breaking ground for the final phase of building the African American Garden this year, and we are excited. But in the meantime, please enjoy this episode of the Sankofa series brought to you by the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. Thank you.
Hi, I am Val B. King, granddaughter of legendary King of the Blues, B.B. King. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Hi, I'm Jayah Watters-Clark. Welcome to the Sankofa Education Series. We're here at the Western Reserve Historical Society Beautiful Hannah Garden, and this series is brought to you by the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. I have with me here today Coach Jarvis Gibson. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. You're an alpha, my husband's an alpha, so this is a good day for us to have a conversation.
Yeah, that's a good guy.
Right. So let's start by having you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, again, I'm Jarvis Gibson Sr. I do have a junior, my namesake. We came here to Cleveland when I was 3 or 4 years old when my parents divorced. Grew up in the housing projects down there. It's called Longwood Housing Projects. We were there maybe 6 to 8 years maybe. From there on, we moved out, went to South High School, went to Case Western Reserve, got my degree there. From that point on, I started my career. I'm an engineer by trade. I was with AT&T, well, it was Meritech, SBC, AT&T for 19 years. But during that time frame, I became a head football coach, and then I started my foundation and went into the real estate game.
Nice. So you've been a coach, you are an engineer by trade, you're in a real estate game. You have a lot going on.
I would say so.
Talk a little bit about your foundation.
Okay, the foundation, actually, we've been doing the work since maybe 2000, 2001. And then over the years, as the work started to progress, I met a gentleman and they asked me the question, did I have a foundation or nonprofit organization? And at the time, we did not. I really didn't know what that meant. Started doing some research on it, learned a little bit more, went a little bit more in depth with it. Because he asked the question, because he was, giving money to the things that we were trying to get accomplished. Once I found out you could start getting grants, different things like that help you fund things, that's when we started the foundation in 2016.
So what does the foundation do?
We pretty much work with youth.
Okay.
It was the reason it was, first of all, I named it after myself as Jarvis Gibson, the foundation of Jarvis Gibson, because I had a namesake. and I wanted to leave something behind for my son, and also for him to continue to grow that as well, but keep something within our family, because that's when we start learning a little bit more about generational wealth and things like that. So we wanted to keep things moving that way. So our main focus is on the youth.
Coach Gibson, talk a little bit about your mentors.
Well, when it comes to mentoring, I think you have different phases in your life, and mentors come and go that way.
Okay.
Or you have some mentors that are with you from the beginning, and they can carry on. I would say at a young age, my number one mentor was always my big brother, right?
Okay.
He was the one who kind of guided me, taught me the do's and don'ts in life. From that point on, it became my coaches. And one of the ones who really stood out was Coach AV, who I spoke of earlier. He just passed away a year ago. But when I tell you, he was one of my biggest fans and a mentor, but he was there for me a lot. But then you will have, there's two others very significant. This guy's name, his name is Mario Marino, and I've been doing consulting work with him. He came into my life back in 2008 when I took South High School to the playoffs for the first and only time in school history. He reached out through me via something that Terry Pluto wrote in The Plain Dealer, and we've been working with each other ever since. And I would tell you that guy's taught me so much since 2008 that I've probably learned my entire life just in that short time frame. He's taught me a lot. And then I would say also Tim Goller, who's actually a professor. He's also an Alpha. He's a professor down at Norfolk State. But those two guys, and then Coach out, again, most of them are my coaches. That's where it starts for me. Outside of my coaches, I would say, again, my brother, and then Mario Marino.
So you've learned a lot from your mentors. If you had the opportunity to kind of teach the generation coming behind you, or give them some knowledge or some wisdom, what would that be?
The very first thing I would say is leadership, because a lot of the youth today are followers. And when they follow, they get in a lot of trouble and do things and make mistakes and make choices, bad choices that they normally wouldn't make on their own. And that was something that I learned at a younger age. Instead of following someone else, make your own choices. So what I would say to the younger generation today, but try to do things to where you can become a leader. Don't follow as much. Sometimes you have to follow to learn, but follow the right persons, right people. So find the people that you can really trust, you can believe in, like a mentor, and latch on to that, and then I believe you can be much more successful. And everyone has different definitions of mentorship, right? Well, like personally for me, mentoring is more than you see a kid for an hour a day, once a month, something like that, and they say, okay, I'm that person's mentor. Like my personal mentor, I've been knowing him since I was 15 years old, right? He was actually my basketball coach. This is like one of my major mentors, right? He was my high school basketball coach. Once I moved on in my career, next thing I know, he's at my practices. He's come to every one of my home games. We would go to lunch once a month on a regular basis. And it was something more. Once he introduced me, then he introduced me to, which I didn't even know that he was in the real estate. And then once he introduced that to me, I learned about it. That's when we started creating generational wealth, and the rest is history.
So how important is mentorship to you?
Mentorship is very important. I think, especially with today's youth, everyone needs someone, that they can talk to, that they can call on that's there. And it's not always your parents, because a lot of kids, their parents are not there. Even when your parents are there, I've learned as a head football coach, I knew a lot of things that the parents didn't know, because the kids were more open to speak with me or to say things to me, or just in passing. And I try to tell parents that all the time. You know your child at home, but a lot of times you don't know your child away from home. I'm there with that child 3 to 4 or 5 hours a day. I pretty much know them a little bit more because they'll share more things.
So we're here on behalf of the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. As you know, we finally have a space to call our own. How important is the garden to you?
I think the garden is very important because I think it comes back with our history. And I think there's a huge gap in today's world where the younger generation, they don't really know the history. And without knowing that history, you really don't know what you need to do, because if you know where you came from, I think the youth today would make different choices. But because of that huge gap that's there, it's being lost. So when we have a place that we can, like you say, we can call our own, we can come back. It's like this place is beautiful. I haven't been here in forever. And I went right here in the backyard at Case Western Reserve. But to walk in here today to see all of this, I think this is phenomenal.
Well, congratulations on all your success, Coach Gibson. Appreciate you being here and wishing you more success in the future.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Thank you for watching the Sankofa Education Series, brought to you by the Association of African American Cultural Gardens.
Hello, I'm Beverly Lloyd with the Association of African American Cultural Gardens, here today with our Do You Know segment. Let's see if you know who these fine individuals are. He is an American politician of the Democratic Party and was the 55th and second longest serving mayor of Cleveland, Ohio, encompassing 3 four-year terms from 1990 to 2002. He was Cleveland's second African American mayor, as well as the city's second youngest mayor at the time. If you guessed Michael R. White, then you do know.
Hi, my name is Rachel Hill with the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. The mission of the Association of African American Cultural Garden is to educate regarding the African American experience and to complete the monument for the African American Garden. Our Sankofa series represents our dedication to bring you the history and amazing journey of African Americans in this great city. Our garden represents a journey, starting with the door of no return to the resilience of our ancestors and family to make a difference in this country. The water feature gives hope and joy for future generations, knowing that you can accomplish anything with dedication and hard work. We are on the journey to complete the garden. Our goal is to break ground this year to complete the garden, but we need your help to get to the finish line. Please make your tax-deductible donation by going to aacg.org or mail your check to P.O. Box 20237, Cleveland, Ohio 44120. Thank you.